Today I'm going to share with you details about a book that's available for children here in the Cameron School District in the high school as well as in the middle school. This book, A Child Called It, is an autobiography about a man who has endured what authors describe as the worst child abuse in the history of the state of California. This book is truly difficult to read. It is truly dark. This book contains violence involving child abuse and bullying, profanity and alcohol abuse. It doesn't take long before they start getting into the violence. And again, this is an autobiography. This is not a fictional story. This is abuse that happened to this man. "You've made my life a living hell," she sneered. "Now it's time I showed you what hell is like." Gripping my arm, Mother held it to the orange-blue flame. My skin seemed to explode from the heat. I could smell the scorched hairs from my burnt arm. As hard as I fought, I could not force Mother to let go of my arm. Finally, I fell to the floor on my hands and knees and tried to blow cool air on my arm. "It's too bad your drunken father's not here to save you," she hissed. Mother then ordered me to climb up onto the stove and lie on the flames so she could watch me burn. I refused, crying and pleading. I felt so scared I stomped my feet in protest, but Mother continued to force me on top of the stove. I watched the flames, praying the gas might run out. As soon as they left, she brought out one of Russell's soiled diapers. She smeared the diaper on my face. After what seemed like an hour, Mother knelt down beside me and a soft voice said, "Eat it." I said, "Eat it," she sneered. Switching tactics, I began to cry. Mother answered my crying with more blows to my face, stopping only when she heard Russell crying. Even with my face covered with defecation, I was pleased. I thought I might win. I tried to wipe the crap away, flicking it onto the wooden floor. She grabbed me by the back of the neck and led me to the kitchen. There, spread out on the countertop, was another full diaper. The smell turned my stomach. "Now you're going to eat it," said Mother. Mother had the same look in her eye that she had the day she wanted me to lie on top of the gas stove at the back of the house. Before I could find the clock, Mother's hand seized my neck. Again she repeated, "Eat it." I held my breath. The smell was overpowering. I tried to focus on the top corner of the diaper. Seconds seemed like hours. Mother must have known my plan. She slammed my face into the diaper and rubbed it from side to side. This whole book is filled with content like this. The abuse that this man suffered at the hands of his mother. It's all through this book. It does not hint at the abuse. It defines it. It shines a light on it. The content in this book is deeply disturbing, but you don't have to take my word for it. Look at this. By the way, Cameron High School Library, A Child Called It. There it is. Found a review of this book on the website Goodreads. Turns out that there is an ELA teacher that is employed by the Cameron School District that agrees with my assessment of the book. She says, "I've never read an abuse story this horrific and terrifying. Being an avid reader, I've been exposed to quite a few messed up and twisted storylines. Never one this horrible. Never one written because it's true." This was in 2018. Why has nobody petitioned the school district before now to say, hey, maybe this book isn't suitable for every child to read? There are adults that I know that are not prepared to read the contents of this story. This is dark. Why are we giving it to our children? Why is this available for a sixth grader to read? This is a story of David Pelzer, who was brutally beaten and starved by his emotionally unstable alcoholic mother, a mother who played torturous, unpredictable games that left him nearly dead. He had to learn how to play his mother's games in order to survive because she no longer considered him a son, but a slave, and no longer a boy, but an it. Thus the title It. David's bed was an old army cot in the basement, and his clothes were torn and raunchy. When his mother allowed him the luxury of food, it was nothing more than spoiled scraps that even his dog refused to eat. Well, not his dogs, the dogs. Slaves, its, don't have dogs. Horrific and terrifying. The default position of the Cameron School District is to provide horrific and terrifying books to children as young as in the sixth grade without parental approval. This book, and many of the others in the school district libraries, should be restricted by default. They should require a parent to expressly say, it's okay for my child to read this. This grown woman felt this book is horrific and terrifying. Yet the Cameron School District, and again, that was her position in May of 2018, the school district is still providing this book. Why has nobody said a horrific and terrifying book like this should probably not be made available to a sixth grader?